Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's been a minute since I've done any live, so I'll wait for a few people, see if anybody wants to come join me. If not, it's okay. I'm just here to share. Hey, we have somebody. Hello, welcome. Okay, we have some people starting to populate. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm so glad people are showing up because it's nice to know that I'm not just going to talk to stale air. So welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and coming to learn about HRV. So today I'm here to share or answer questions about HRV. If you don't know, I'm going to be hosting a 21-day HRV exploration journey starting on Sunday. And I'm really excited to share the world. You have tennis pain, tennis elbow, and wrist pain in your left hand. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, we can find out what your HRV, what we can do to support you through your HRV. So if you have any questions about HRV, go ahead and put them in the chat now and I'll get them started. But I'll start with sharing a little bit about what is HRV. So if you don't know, HRV stands for heart rate variability. It is something that honestly, there you go. What is HRV? Yes, it is heart rate variability. So it's actually the measure between your heartbeats. It's a measure of energy. And so a lot of people, you know blood pressure, you know your heart rate, but HRVs actually gives us information about your nervous system. And so if you know or been following me for a minute or whatever, or if you're new here, if you've been following me for a while, I'm very passionate about trauma and helping people release trauma from their body. And so the idea is when we want to learn how to process trauma, it's really important to understand how the nervous system, how the nervous system is speaking to us. So oftentimes with the clients that I work with, it's a lot of times what I hear is that their brain is speaking a certain language and their body's speaking another. HRV is a fantastic way to help us understand that language. And so it's that beginning. So it's really, the HRV is really about the measure of your autonomic nervous system. So my 21-day challenge, the question is, what device do I need for the class? The one app I'm going to recommend is called Welltori. It's a free app. However, there is a paid version and it will continuously ask you to upgrade. But for my class, we just need the paid version because if you have used any kind of apps for HRV, the information straight up can be super overwhelming. You're like, oh, there's so much data and there's so much stats and all that type of stuff, which can get super overwhelming, which I totally get. So essentially, I'm just going to have you start with the paid version. And the reason I prefer apps is because 100% bias here is because when you actually take an app or when you measure when you take a moment, it gives you that opportunity to pause. So if you're someone that uses, that being said, if you do have a wearable, such as a Fitbit or an Oura or an Apple Watch, those are fine. However, they don't give you that opportunity to pause. It's constantly monitoring the background. So the idea is when we talk about HRV, we really want to have that opportunity to check in on how we're doing right here in this moment. And many times we don't really pay attention to how we're feeling in the moment. So that's why I like the app. That being said, if you have an app, like I use Elite HRV personally. So if you've been following my stories, you'll see I put little snapshots of the readings. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. And what's important is when we talk about HRV, every single device measures differently. So that's why we don't compare. And then if you ask, another question I often get is, what's a good or bad score? There isn't a good or bad score in my world. It's really more about where are you at right now and how can we help you improve? So in the journey, what we're going to be doing is the first week is we're just going to gather data. We're just going to find out where your score is, and you may even have all that data, and that's great. But then the next question is, what do I do with the information? And this is the problem, is that there's so many devices out there and there's so many different things that we can use. We don't know how to actually use it to our benefit. And that's what I want to be able to do, is help you understand, okay, so let's say my average is 50. So, and also please understand that every device out there, all their measurements are different because they all have a different algorithm. So we can't compare somebody that uses an Apple Watch to a Fitbit, to an Oura, to the Welltori, to Elite HRV. We can't, there's no comparison. We don't want to compare here. So it's really about understanding what your numbers are, and we start tracking your own numbers. And what I'm looking for is your average. Because when we increase your HRV average, when we increase it, that's a sign that you're building resilience and you're able to manage stress a heck of a lot more. So this is really what it's all about, is finding ways for you to become more optimal in your well-being and be able to empower you. So if you have dis-ease in your body, or if you have any kind of dysregulation in your body, how do you move forward from here? How do we help support you with ways? So if you have PTSD, or if you do have trauma in your body, okay, well, your HRV can actually tell you how you're managing how stressed you are, and what we can do to help you offload or onload information. So like I was saying, if your average is, let's say 50, and then you wake up tomorrow and you check your morning and it's your score is a 42. So the question is, what do you do? Most people are like, I don't know. Or let's say you wake up, your average is 50, and you wake up and your average is, you wake up and your score is 59. What do you do? And this is where a lot of people don't know. And so this is what I'm going to be able to help you answer during the 21-day journey exploration. And so right now it is free to join. So if you are interested in just exploring your HRV and want to check in on your nervous system and know and understand the language of your nervous system, it's a great way to get started. It's free for the next 24 hours. After that, it's going to cost $47 Canadian to join. So if you are interested, why not? It's going to be hosted in a Facebook group. So this is not going to be about education. It's not here. I'm not going to teach you a lot of stuff. It's all about action oriented. It's about taking steps forward. It's about really you being proactive and really you taking steps to help you understand your nervous system. So yeah. So are there any other questions that have come up based off of what I've just said? Just scrolling through here. How to increase HRV to optimal results. So this is everything. I will share that definitely in the 21-day challenge, because again, it depends on what your HRV score is and what it basically means. And so there's going to be, the idea is it's community based because it's in a Facebook group. So the idea is the idea is that we need accountability, because we all know what to do. Reality, right? We all know what we need to do to live well. We all know we need to exercise and eat well and drink water and, like connect with humans and all these type of things. We all know what to do, but we just struggle. We struggle with feeling stuck or unmotivated. Well, our HRV is a stepping stone to help us really start listening to our bodies, and is the stepping stone to help us get unstuck. And so for optimal results, it's going to depend. So I can't sit here and be like, okay, I need you to do breathing, or I need you to do vagus nerve, or I need you to do a movement flow, or I need you to do somatics, or I need you to do whatever. I need you to do lymphatics. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. So the idea is, in the community, we're going to be sharing ideas, and through sharing those ideas, it's going to open the door for you to have more tools and more understanding of what you can do to support yourself, right? So yeah, so that's really my little 10-minute whatever, what do you want to call this? My little 10-minute blurb on why you should come join the journey. But are there any specific questions about HRV? So it's like how I got into it. I've been following it. I've been using it for about a year now, personally. So the reality is, the research, why haven't you heard about it, is because 50 years ago, 1970, there are this many articles done, or research articles done on PubMed. This many. Zero. 50 years ago, it wasn't even on the radar in the science community. So in 2020, the latest research, in 2020, there were over 2,000 articles published on HRV. So the research is coming. But it really started taking a spike about 30 years ago. So that's why when we talk about healing, we talk about trauma, we talk about these things. It's like same thing with polyvagal theory, 1994. It's not that old, right? So this stuff is still relatively new. And so that's why the data that we use, please know that a lot of the data and the metrics that are used, it's like, is it good or bad? The metrics being used are based on athletes and are based on high performing people. So they're not really based on everyday people. So this is where it's really important to understand that we can't compare ourselves to elite people. We have to know where we're at. We're going to use the algorithms, like each device has a different algorithm. So we're going to use the Weltori algorithm. And the key is the more people, it's just like blood tests. When you get a blood test and they give you a range as to how well you are, it's the same idea with HRV. They kind of give you like, this is how you compare to the other people that are in your demographic and whatnot. But it's not about comparison. It's about you. It's about you understanding your body and understanding how you can take control of your health and your well-being. Because at the end of the day, like in 2024, why are we getting sicker? Why is the longevity? Lifespan is going down. How come? Because we're stressed. We're more stressed now than we ever been. So I want to show you how to take that power back. So like I said, my personal journey, I've been using it consistently for about a year now. And I've been using it with clients since January, like consistently, to be able to help us gather more data and understand how to use the information to help us and to help you optimize your health and to optimize, like when you do feel stuck or when if you're always waking up fatigued, how come and what can you do to help support yourself to unload some energy so you're not feeling fatigued instead of drinking caffeine and eating sugar. So we really want to find ways to optimize your own health, and there's lots of different ways to do it. And I found that using HRV, it just gives you a great snapshot as to how are you doing right in this moment? And you can go from there. So yeah. So again, any questions about HRV that I may need to repeat if you're just hopping on now, or if you don't, then I'll leave it there. But basically, okay, Trish, what was your question? I missed it. Can you repeat it? I'm trying to wait. Okay, yours was, okay, no worries. So was today your first day for recording? Trish? You got an 18 on the Weltori app. Okay, cool. Well, keep tracking it. It's all good. It's all good. It's in the question box. Is there a question box? Oh, cool. Okay. Is that bad? Okay, so like I was saying, so the numbers, is that bad? No. So 18 in the Weltori app. It's your number, and that's the number we're going to work with, because again, the Weltori has an algorithm, and they're comparing you to people that are athletes and are high performers, and so the data isn't set up yet. It's coming for people that are not athletes. Like, I think everybody's an athlete, to be honest, though, like, because we are living life. But like, I'm talking about like high performance, like, going to the Olympics and your weekend warriors, the people that, that usually track the wearables. So I wouldn't get caught up on that. Is that bad? So the question is, you want to ask yourself, Trish, is how can I support myself to improve that number today? Yesterday was 43. Okay. So perfect. So that's a perfect example. Yesterday was 43. She woke up today and it was 18. Okay. So that's a great sign. So what does it mean for you? Well, that means that your body is really stressed out, and it means you're in a sympathetic, dominant state right now, which is totally okay, because this is how your body is trying to prepare you for your day. So the question you need to ask yourself is, how am I going to support myself? How am I going to support my sympathetic nervous system? What's sympathetic? Over-caffeinated. Okay, so this is what happens, is that because your HRV is so low, you're probably super tired today, right? Really fatigued, you're kind of sluggish, and your body's kind of be like, oh, right. And then you're like, oh, I got to do this, and this, and this. So your mind's probably ruminating, got a lot of stuff going on in your head. And so the idea is, how are we going to support we don't want to swing the pendulum too far. Yes, absolutely. So it's pretty classic. It's a very classic sign of living in survival or living in a sympathetic dominant state. So what we want to do is basically, the question you need to ask yourself is how am I going to onload some simple calming exercises to help calm so a lot of people think that, like I got to go push. It's actually the opposite. We're going to support you by onloading some energy. So it could be some, I don't know what kind of exercises you've done, but I kind of know because we've been talking, but, there's certain breathing drills that could really help you, because the reality is there's a bajillion and one different breathing drills. Breathing we all know, breathing is an easy access to the parasympathetic nervous system. I would say though, what precedes the breathing in my experience is we need to go after your vagus nerve. Right now, your vagus nerve is like, ah! So then you drink caffeine and then you eat sugar and then it stays that vibration keeps going. So what we want to be able to do is access your vagus nerve and calm your vagus nerve down. So the question I would ask you, Trish, is what are some vagus nerve exercises that you know? You've been following me for a minute, so I share lots and lots and lots of those. So like a simple ear massage, some humming, some texture, some cold therapy, lots of different things. So hot, cold therapy, not necessarily just cold. But anyway, there's lots of different ways to help support your vagus nerve. So that's a perfect example of, what are you going to learn in the journey is, okay, how am I going to support myself when my HRV tracks them? I know them, and so I'll do more. Yes, perfect. So the idea, Trish, would then be is that after you do one action, so whatever vagus nerve exercise you do, I would then retest your HRV. Okay, yeah, you could nebulize. Yeah, you could definitely nebulize. So do you have Rescue Remedy? I would definitely put Rescue Remedy in your nebulizer, or anything that can help calm your nervous system, calm the sympathetic nervous system. So if you have that would be really good. But I would focus more like humming, doing some breathing with the humming, that sort of thing. That may really help engage you. So we want to be able to just, not yet. Okay, so what do you have in your nebulizer then? That would be the question. But again, we can talk more about it in the journey, just so we can get more specific to how to support you. But right now, I'm going to say, if you went from a 43 yesterday to an 18 today, we know your sympathetic nervous system is on fire. So how do we support it? We don't want to swing the pendulum too far, because that's going to be too stressful. And this is the problem that I see with so many people, is that are like, oh my God, it's a bad score. It's not bad. It's just your nervous system is stressed out. So how do we support it? We want to onload energy. So the question is, how do you want to onload it? Definitely nebulizing, and what you put in the cup will be helpful. So hopefully you have some glutathione to help you support that. And some other things, but we can chat more about that later for sure. I didn't realize, so I haven't done a live in such a long time. I didn't realize there's a chat box. I'm like, cool. Okay, so there's 2 questions there. Any other questions about HRV and how it can help support you? Like I said, the research is relatively new, so that's why you may not know heart rate variability. If you have an Apple Watch, it tracks it, believe it or not. You just got to go into the health app and it'll give you your number. But like I said, I'm a fan of taking snapshots, just like a blood test. We want to see where you're at right here, right now. When you put your finger on your phone, all you need is your finger on the phone to be able to do it. So you don't need any fancy dancy equipment to be able to help you figure out what your HRV is, and you can go from there. Yay. Any other questions? Trish, hopefully that answered your question. Yes? No? Maybe so. We can talk more about it, but hopefully that helps. Vagus nerve is where I would go after, and then I would focus on breathing if I were you. That would be my suggestion. And go from there. Any other questions? No? Yes? Maybe so? Yes, you have another question? Oh, that was helpful. Okay, cool. Cool. Good. Perfect. So if you want to join the 21-day exploration journey, it is free for the next 24 hours. So definitely, if you are even curious about it, it's done. We're going to be doing it in a Facebook group for community base and supporting each other that way. And it's not about educating. This is the education piece. So whatever questions you have, this is where I'm here to educate you on. But really, starting Sunday, I want to help move forward. We want to take action. I really believe movement is the way we heal. And so we want to be able to take movements towards empowering you and like basically taking your power back and getting you unstuck. So I see so many people that feel stuck, and they don't have to. There's hope. There's definitely hope. So we just need to learn how to use the numbers to our advantage and go from there. Cool. Any other questions? If not, then the registration link, it's actually in my bio. It's in my stories. It's basically anywhere you can find me. Okay, so yeah, I got another question. I have essential tremors and have different, keeping my fingers still. Is that a problem with, yeah, it would be a little bit harder. So if there is a different device, do you have a wearable? So you would be somebody that I would recommend use a wearable if you're having a hard time, because you can't, it's going to skew your reading because you can't move when you do the reading. So I would definitely, I would use a wearable if you have access to one. So a Whoop, Apple Watch, do you have anything like that? Binge eating has gained fat since brain injury and I can't work out properly. Definitely, I would suggest start tracking your HRV. Start tracking, because that'll help us a lot, because the idea is we can't. So if you're somebody that's trying to lose weight and you haven't lost weight, I'll tell you right now, it's because your body doesn't feel safe. Your body's stressed out. We can't lose weight when we're stressed. We can't. And so it's just, you can lose it and then you'll gain it back. It is possible. No, actually, don't take that. You can lose weight when you're stressed. It's going to come back. So the idea is, when the body feels safe, it will align itself and the weight will come off. So the reason you're gaining weight is because your body doesn't feel safe. So the HRV will definitely help us get you on track to help you understand what your body's telling you. The reality is, most of us, if you're like me, you ignored your body for a long time and you got mad at it and you punished it and you just we're just mean to your body, and we're just like, why does my body behave this way? And why does it, why do I get hurt all the time? Or why do I keep gaining weight? It's because at the end of the day, it doesn't feel safe. Your autonomic nervous system is saying, yo, you're not listening to me. So now we actually have a tool to help us listen to our bodies. So I'm really excited to be able to share this world with you and help you, give you some insights. And I'm guarantee this is like, I'm telling you, I believe that this is the wave of the future in terms of understanding our bodies and understanding the data is going to change. The more people that use it for everyday purposes instead of just elite athletes and performance based people, I really think this is a fantastic way for you just to start understanding how to use it. Like I said, it can get super overwhelming when you go into those apps. You're like, oh, what does this metric mean? And what do these metrics mean? And la, 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 la. I'll basically, in the journey, in the exploration, in the 21 days, I'll tell you the one measurement that I want to focus on. And that's it. There's tons of other information. There's percentages and all this kind of stuff. Great. Lots of bells and whistles. We don't need that yet. We'll use it as we need and to basically help empower you. So, because the reality is when you get overwhelmed, what happens? You get analysis paralysis. You don't do anything. And that's not helpful for anybody, right? So it's about really helping you and figuring out what the numbers mean and what tools can help you. So like I said, if you want to use a wearable, knock yourself out. If you want to use an app, there are lots of different apps. I just personally like Tori because of the stepping stones and because of the information that I eventually get to. But first we just start with one score, and I'll show you what that is and what it means, and then we can go from there. Cool? So like I said, if you want to join my 21-day exploration, it's free. Why not? I had a coach always told me, if it's free, take 2. Well, you can't take 2, but you can definitely register, and you can go into my bio. You can go into my stories. The registration's there. After tomorrow, it will be $47 to join us. Still a great value. You're going to get lots and lots of information from it to be able to help you and empower you and take your power back. So yeah. Any other questions? One final time. I know I've had some new people pop in. Welcome everybody. Hello. We're just talking about HRV, heart rate variability, and how it can improve your overall well-being. Yay. Cool. Any other questions? If not, that's going to be it for me for today. So I hope to see you all in the Facebook group, and I hope you all decide to come join us for this journey, because what have you got to lose, to be honest? Awesome. I'm super excited to help you, Trish, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out, because I believe at the end of the 3 weeks, you're going to have some really powerful information to help you and empower what you need to do to move forward to help you, ease the disease or dysregulation in your body. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. And how do I join, please? There's a registration link in my story. There's a registration link in my bio. If you DM me, I will send it to you. So if you're like watching this, you're like, just send me a DM. Julie, send me the link. I'll send it to you too. No problem. I can do that. So yeah. So the thing too is that please know, like, if there are tech glitches, it's me. I don't have a team. I'm that person. Like, I'm a solopreneur. I'm that definition of a solo. I don't have a team. I don't have anybody that looks at my emails. I'm the one that does it all. So if there's tech glitches, my apologies. I'm not a tech person. I'm just somebody passionate about health and healing. So if there is something, just message me, email me, and I'd be happy to, just like I said, send me a message and I'll send you the link, because tech gremlins happen. I get it, but I don't have a whole team of people to help me figure all that stuff out. So I'm doing my best that I can, and hope to have you all join me on Sunday, September 15th, in the 21-day HRV exploration journey. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and start tracking those HRVs. All right. Ciao.